The Warriors have had a very interesting offseason to say the least. They drafted Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga with their lottery picks and made some solid free agency pickups by adding Otto Porter Jr., Nemanja Bjelica, and Andre Iguodala. So this video is going to analyze each of the Warriors offseason moves and give them a grade. But before we continue, if you like content like this, please like the video and subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a banger. Now let's get started. First, let's start off with the draft. The Warriors had 2 lottery picks, and with their first pick, they selected Jonathan Kuminga, and I give this pick a B+. The Warriors landing Kuminga at the 7th pick is a steal when you consider he was projected to go in the top 5. Kuminga has good size for a small forward at 6'8" with a 6'11" wingspan, and he's very athletic. He can really attack the rim, but he needs to work on his shooting. His shooting numbers in the G League were abysmal. Kuminga is a nice high ceiling prospect, but I think he'll be very limited in how much he can help the Warriors contend for a title now. He reminds me a lot of Jaylen Brown, who needed 3 to 4 years before he was at an all-star level, and for Kuminga, I believe it'll take him a few years as well. Kuminga will more than likely play as Wiggins' backup next season. Next, the Warriors took Moses Moody, and I give this pick an A. I didn't think Moody would escape the top 10, so the Warriors getting him at 14 is another steal. He's a knockdown shooter and an excellent defender with the potential to become a good scorer. Moody will probably come off the bench, but I think he could contribute to winning basketball immediately thanks to his 3-and-D skills. Overall, these picks won't be huge factors in the Warriors contending for a championship, but they'll help lead the next era of Warriors basketball once Stephen Curry is out of his prime. Now let's move on to free agency. One of the Warriors' free agency pickups was Otto Porter Jr., and this move gets a B. Considering Otto was picked up on the veteran minimum, this is the definition of a low-risk, high-reward move. Throughout his career, Otto has been one of the better three-point shooters in the league. For his career, he's shot 40% from the three-point line. He's also a good defender. Not a great defender, but at 6'8" with a long 7'1" wingspan, he can more than hold his own. The downside with signing Otto is that he's incredibly injury prone. In the last 2 seasons, he's played a combined 28 games. So Otto Porter Jr. can be a good role player, but because he's so injury prone, there's a chance that he gives Golden State nothing this year. Because of the risk, the grade isn't going to be too high. Next, let's talk about Nemanja Bjelica, who the Warriors also signed on the veteran minimum. I give this signing a B. He's a good 3-point shooter as he's shot 39% from outside for his career. Bjelica will more than likely be part of the second unit, while occasionally playing as a stretch big next to Draymond. He's another solid veteran that will help to space the floor, so this is a pretty good signing. And the Warriors' last free agency signing was Andre Iguodala for the veterans minimum, and this signing gets a B-. At age 37, Iguodala is far from 2015 Finals MVP Iguodala, who played great defense on LeBron. He's way past his prime. He's nowhere near the defender he used to be, and he's a below average 3-point shooter and an awful free throw shooter. Iguodala is probably good for 10 to 15 minutes a night, and at this point, his true role will probably be a mentorship role for the young wing players on the roster like Kuminga and Moses Moody. Iggy won't contribute much to winning basketball, but he will be a good veteran leader, so that's why this move gets a B-. And that's about it for free agency signings. The Warriors also made a trade where they sent Eric Pascal to the Utah Jazz for a future second-round pick, which I also give a B-. When this move happened, it was definitely a head-scratcher to say the least, but after thinking about it, the move makes sense. For starters, dumping Pascal saved the Warriors about $12 million in luxury tax, which is strictly a financial reason, but they also opened up a roster spot with this move. Pascal had a good rookie season where he averaged 14 points per game and made all-rookie team, but his role dwindled in his sophomore season. He went from averaging 27 minutes a game to 17 minutes a game, and as a result, his numbers were down across the board. Pascal is a very good scorer around the rim, but he's a bad defender and poor 3-point shooter. His minutes were set to decline even further after the addition of Kuminga and Otto Porter Jr. With that said, it makes sense why the Dubs will want to move on from him, but they sold low on him, and one future second round pick is essentially nothing, so that's why the grade here is a B-. And the final move that the Warriors made was to extend Stephen Curry, which earns an A+. This summer, Curry agreed to a 4-year, $215 million extension. This was the most important move the Dubs could have made this offseason. Locking down their franchise player will continue to make the Warriors an attractive destination for other star players, and it extends their window to contend for a championship. Steph is one of the most offensively skilled players this league has ever seen, so I have no doubt that his game will continue to age gracefully. He was also set to be a free agent in 2022, so getting him on a 4-year extension now was a big win for the franchise, which is why I give it an A+. And guys, that's all of the major moves that the Warriors made this offseason. Overall, I think the Warriors had a good offseason, but it wasn't spectacular. They had a great draft and made some good additions, but nothing that significantly increases their chances of contending. In order to compete with the Lakers, the Warriors would have needed to trade for an all-star like Bradley Beal or Pascal Siakam, at least in my opinion. This means the Warriors will be heavily dependent on Klay Thompson returning to an all-star level. He's coming off 2 brutal leg injuries and hasn't played in 2 years, so he's a huge question mark. I'm not trying to be negative, I'm just trying to keep it real here. They made some good moves, but nothing to really move the needle, and Bob Myers has made it clear that the Dubs want to maximize what's left of Steph Curry's prime. Anyway guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Do you like the Dubs offseason moves? Do you agree with my grades? Do you like the current direction of the team? Tell me in the comments. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and have a great rest of your day.